computer. Hi, everybody. It's Amy and Andrea, and I'm so excited to talk with Andrea today about her experience in our programs. Andrea, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, definitely, Amy. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. Um, my name is Andrea. I live in Denver, Colorado. I initially found out about Amy in 2020 in July. Um, I'm 41. I work in tech, and my first work with Amy was a happiness challenge.
A happiness challenge, right? And who introduced you to this work or to Amy or to positive psychology, or was it an office talk? What
Yeah,
happened?
yeah, definitely. So I was really struggling, mind, body, and spirit. This was in the height of COVID, July 2020. Therapy just wasn't working for me at the time. And I just needed something different. And so I reached out to one of my friends that she was always raving about this happiness program and um, this thought leader in happiness. And she recommended I reach out to you.
Great. So it sounds like Amy was there for you in a time of need. And I'm using myself as a third person just because it's weird. So,
Totally.
so
Oh,
that must have been, a little bit of a sunshine on a rainy day, or, how would you describe that like consultation, and what made you take the leap of faith into doing one of the programs?
yeah. So I remember I'm just thinking back during that time. I think I was just sitting on my couch miserable. My friend told me about you, and you had a contact us section in your website. And I put in my info, and I think I had one sentence or two. I just said, I'm really depressed. I'm really struggling. I need help. I've tried it all. Contact me if you're open to this. And you responded, in that day. And then I think we had a call scheduled like the next day to do a consultation.
Wow. This was a while back, so I'm just really, I'm recalling it too. That is awesome. And then what was it that made you take the leap of faith to do the program? Did I collect your happiness vitals, or what was it? Just like
I
anything was
mean,
better than where you were at? What happened?
yeah, I'll tell you. You want me to get into that? I can high level tell you that. So as soon as I got on the call with you, Amy, I just felt like a breath of fresh air. You
Aw.
were happy, smiling, which, even during COVID times, not really a lot of people were so joyful and excited and blissful. And so I felt that from you. And you basically kind of took the current state of what I was experiencing, which was just a lot of anxiety about life and circumstances. And I basically shared with you all my pain and all my struggles. And you told me you had a solution that, could help me. Now life still happens, right? I still have struggles every day. Um, but reaching out to you was like one of the best decisions I ever made.
Aw, geez. Thanks, Andrea.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's been a game changer.
Wow, I love to hear that. What were some of the results that you experienced, like inside yourself, outside in the world? Has anyone else seen any changes in you?
Totally. Yeah. So, one of the key areas I love about your program is a positive psychology component. So, I've been doing therapy and I loved therapists throughout my whole life. I'm pro supporting mental health. Um, Yet your program really complements that. So I see my therapist for more, clinical support. And you really have that positive psychology that comes in and takes me to the next level. And so, some of the things I've really learned from you is like having a morning routine, right? So you have, rituals and routines that you've shared with me that I've implemented that really helped me in the beginning kickstart my journey.
Yeah.
uh, Also, a big part of what I've learned from you is acts of kindness.
Mhm.
How can giving back in this world and doing simple acts of kindness every day have a positive impact on me feeling, happy about the person I am? And so those are some of the key areas. Also, just thinking about some of the other areas you've really helped me in is feeling empowered in my personal life, in my relationships, with dating, love life, as well as friendships and family. In my career, you've been able to help me, significantly in my career, and as well as like contentment overall, just feeling a lot more at peace than what I did, when I first reached out to you. So those have, you've really changed my life, as I've told you many times before.
Upward spiral, it sounds like.
Totally.
Were there any surprises that came up along the way?
Yeah. So, when I initially reached out to you, I decided to take your program. You told me I had a short time to tell you yes or no, which I really appreciate because we were capitalizing on where I was at and basically understanding how you can, completely transform my current situation. So when I reached out to you, we had that initial call around the happiness challenge was a first program I did. You mentioned that I had to make a happiness decision. And so a part of that is this certificate that I basically had to sign and put the date that I was willing to choose happiness and to have the willingness to try something different, to work towards something that I haven't, worked for the past. And I know the happiness language, I'm not getting it perfect here, so I apologize. And if you join the program, you'll know what I mean by that. So when I had that, so basically you told me to say that in front of the mirror. You were on Zoom. And I said that I, made the decision to choose happiness, to be willing to take the journey towards a new path. And then I signed it and dated it and put it up my refrigerator. Um, and then that was basically uh, prior to what you wanted me to do before I did the chakra cleanse, which is a 21-day cleanse.
Yeah.
That you basically, help your clients with. And you said, okay, perfect. You've chose that you want a different path here. I'm excited. You were, really pumped up as always. You're always pumped up. And you said, one of those areas as far as this cleanse is I want you to eat healthy and I don't want you to use drugs or alcohol. And so, I really thought about that. And, you know, I realized that day that I think alcohol was becoming a barrier to my ultimate happiness. Now that's me because I realized my drinking was problematic. This is unique to me. So I'm not saying this is anyone else. Um, and I had a conversation with you. And what I loved about talking to you is you recommended a worldwide recovery program that's not in your program. That's a worldwide recovery program that basically has helped millions of people get sober. And you recommended that to me, a program that I never thought I would consider. And you really had a heart-to-heart conversation with me, the day after I made that happiness decision about something that I was struggling with, which was my relationship with alcohol. And I went to one of these meetings, and I've been doing meetings ever since, and I've been sober since that day. So I have over 2 years of sobriety, which has completely changed my life. Um, and and I owe that a lot of that to you, Amy. And
Aw.
yeah, I feel happy. I feel a lot of happiness I feel a lot of joy and a lot of freedom from making that decision. Um, so, that's been for me game changing. Now, how that relates to other people is any issue or challenge people might be going through. It might not be alcohol. I'm sure many of your potential clients have other very critical issues they want to overcome. I have a lot of trust that, I mean, you're the person that can help them overcome them.
Hmm.
So
Well, thank you, Andrea. I mean, I know that that has been a lifelong experience for you, the to work with overcoming that and, tackling that demon. And I'm wondering if we have this fond term called the happiness hard ass. I'm wondering, have you experienced any of like Dr. Amy's happiness hard ass, or like has that ever come out? Do you think that it took something like that to be able to make that shift for you? What was
yeah.
it? Or, was it related or unrelated? I'm just wondering because sometimes if you think about happiness, you might think of like a pushover. So I'm just curious of your perspective.
Yeah, so the depth and weight of that decision that I made, um, when I made the decision to try a new path, and when I talked to you about, changing my relationship with alcohol, and now I'm sober, uh, you know, the English language can't even describe how my life has changed because of that. Yes, absolutely. That's one of the main things I love about you is that you challenge me. So many people in life that we can surround ourselves with agree with us, which is a great thing too. And that's what's different about therapy. I still love my therapist. It's more cognitive behavioral type dialogue. With you, you're a straight shooter. You tell me if you disagree with me and why. And absolutely, when I had that conversation with you on that day on August, 6th, you really challenged me. I did not want to do this, recovery program that you recommended. I thought that, you know, really, I thought I was better than that. And you basically challenged me and said you knew a lot of wonderful people in recovery that find, you know, peace and serenity away from a substance. And, it having you tell me that someone that I was already looking up to and someone that I admired really made me realize like I'm totally wrong on this perspective. I need to give this a shot. And so, yes, the way you challenge your clients and the way you've challenged me is one of the main reasons I love working with you.
Hmm. Thanks, Andrea. Won't back down. How does Tom Petty say it?
That's
Yeah.
a great song. Yeah, it's a great song.
Great. Well, I'm just curious about what has been the easiest part of the programs that you've been a part of, what has been the hardest part, and what has been the most rewarding part.
One of the areas, so, number one, you help with positive psychology, right? Number two, you help me figure out what are the rocks in my life and how do I get rid of those rocks. One of the areas you've really helped me in is my career. So when I was working with you, I wanted to change companies. I'm in sales. And you helped me in all my interviews. You helped me prep for them. You helped me really gain that executive presence. I love my job now, and you were a big part of getting me to where I am today. Um, and you also helped me as far as client meetings. So many times I have gone to you and been nervous or reluctant about an upcoming big client meeting, and you've helped me prepare for that. Another area in my career that you've really helped me in is internal relationships within the company. So as I'm sure a lot of people that might listen to this, working with colleagues can be challenging, right? And you've been able to help me engage in a different way, in more of a positive light with specific colleagues that I struggle with. And so you've absolutely not only had an impact on my like positive psychology and removing barriers to happiness, but you've definitely had a significant impact on my career. And I'm thriving in my career right now. And a lot of that want to thank you for.
Aw, thanks, Andrea.
So that would be some of the easier areas. The goal setting is a big part of what you do. To answer your question on what has been kind of the hardest, then, one of the other areas you have helped me with a lot is like healing trauma and past, issues that I faced. Like everyone, we've all have, potentially post-traumatic stress from, specific people or situations in our lives. You've helped me deal with that. There's one situation that I'm going through, but I'm getting better at. And you've been able to provide a lot of clarity and understanding, really. I also want to point that out. I have felt very comfortable telling you really, good, bad, and the ugly. I've told you things that I've only told like my best friend, her and you, basically.
Oh, great.
And what I love is that I can come to you with weird things, right? Or thoughts that I have that that aren't serving me, and you help me through those. And so I just feel like I can really come to you with anything, and you truly have a solution for every situation. There is not one, you have never once not had a solution. You always have a solution. It blows my mind. And it's all based on your education. It's all based on your research, on your schooling. I know that you have many mentors in your life. And I know that it comes with a lot of like credible backing.
Great. Yes, it's true. 26 years of experience, everybody. That's over a quarter of a century. I'm like a turtle deep down inside. Well, thank you so much, Andrea. Is there anything you wanted to share with anyone outside of what we already discussed? Would you recommend this to anyone? Do you think your results are headed towards sustainability? In general, where is your future here? And is there anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the final piece I want to mention is that, diet and exercise is a big part, right, of happiness. You've helped me in that area too. So you've helped me in pretty much every area of my entire life. Do I recommend this program? Absolutely. For anyone out there that wants to really completely change the direction that they're going, this is the way to go. Like I said, life still brings struggles every day and obstacles. Yeah, I feel like I have the toolkit to work through life in a whole different way. I mean, this program has completely not just changed me, but changed my relationships and people around me. And now I'm doing more of a customized session. So I know you offer a lot of different options, and I appreciate you making something unique to my needs today. And I would just say anyone out there that is looking for more happiness, more bliss, more joy, definitely for sure do this program. It's worth every penny. I know it is an investment. When I first, I do want to point that out. When I first thought of the investment, it felt like a lot, financial. It is worth every single penny. I have, has a positive return on my investment in my career, in my mind, in my body, in my spirit. And you can't put a a price to that.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, you just can't put a price to that. And so if someone's if someone looks at that investment and is, feels, that they can't do it, I know that you work out payment programs and other options. And so I would highly consider those, because that was something I was nervous about. And now I would not even think twice about it.
Great. I know it is worth every penny, even if I do say so myself with my clipboard.
The final piece I want to say is
Mhm.
that we do Reiki on every session.
Mhm.
And I just love how you channel in spirituality. That's something I've really admired about you. I have a specific faith, and you've encouraged my faith. You
Yeah.
probably have a different faith than me, yet you have encouraged me to flourish within my own faith.
Yeah.
And you've been very supportive of that when a lot of society isn't. And so you really help enhance spirituality. And I love how you tap into Reiki and tap into spirituality, and you're able to provide so much healing to me when you do Reiki every time we meet. And so anyone that's considering this program, just know that like the Reiki is really life-changing too. So, I mean, Amy, you're one of the most important people I've ever met in my entire life, because my life is completely different since I've met you. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Aw, thanks, Andrea. I'm so happy we met each other and you reached out. Do you want a hug?
Sure. So thank you. I mean it with every ounce of my being.
Aw, well, onward and upward. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Andrea.
Thank you.
Link below.